A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The superior man thinks always of virtue, the common man thinks of comfort. A man who has committed a mistake and doesn't correct it is committing another mistake. Speak the truth, do not yield to anger, give, if thou art asked for little, by these 3 steps thou wilt go near the gods. He who acts with a constant view to his own advantage will be much murmured against. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. If I am walking with 2 other men, each of them will serve as my teacher. I will pick out the good points of the one and imitate them, and the bad points of the other and correct them in myself. In a country well governed, poverty is something to be ashamed of. In a country badly governed, wealth is something to be ashamed of. To be able under all circumstances to practice 5 things constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 things are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. To rule a country of 1,000 chariots, there must be reverent attention to business, and sincerity, economy in expenditure, and love for men, and the employment of the people at the proper seasons. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. To those whose talents are above mediocrity, the highest subjects may be announced. To those who are below mediocrity, the highest subjects may not be announced. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom: first, by reflection, which is noblest; second, by imitation, which is easiest; and third, by experience, which is the bitterest. A gentleman would be ashamed should his deeds not match his words. The essence of knowledge is, having it, to apply it; not having it, to confess your ignorance. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. To see the right and not to do it is cowardice. The faults of a superior person are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them; they change and everyone looks up to them. There are 3 methods to gaining wisdom. The first is reflection, which is the highest. The second is limitation, which is the easiest. The third is experience, which is the bitterest. To study and not think is a waste. To think and not study is dangerous. The expectations of life depend upon diligence. The mechanic that would perfect his work must first sharpen his tools. To see what is right and not to do it is want of courage, or of principle. I am not one who was born in the possession of knowledge; I am one who is fond of antiquity, and earnest in seeking it there. When we see persons of worth, we should think of equaling them; when we see persons of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. He who learns but does not think, is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute, the man who does not ask is a fool for life.